Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today because we are setting the stage for a real deep dive into the fascinating and honestly sometimes overwhelming world of global mobility and structured residency pathways. Whether you're an expat looking to make a major life move, or maybe you're a relocation researcher mapping out strategic options for top talent, this overview is literally built just for you. We're going to be focusing heavily on the practical takeaways, the real-world trade-offs, precise timelines, and the absolute critical decision points you need to consider. But first, I've got to ask you this. How do you effectively navigate the complex web of global relocation in 2026? It's a massive question, isn't it? Because today, moving across borders isn't just about packing your bags and booking a flight. No way. It's about parsing through ever-changing legislation, shifting income thresholds, and highly specific national priorities. And honestly, this is the core challenge that expats and mobility researchers are facing right now. Because let's face it, global relocation requires analyzing macro data, navigating these incredibly dense regional portals, and mapping out highly structured legal pathways. It's like a giant puzzle. You can't just look at one piece of the board. You really have to see how global migration trends intercept with specific local visa requirements. But hey, don't worry, we are going to break this whole thing down systematically. Okay, let's dive right into this roadmap. We'll be hitting 1. Navigating global relocation, 2. The Japan HSP visa, 3. Calculating your score, 4. Salaries and timelines, and finally 5. The fast track to PR. Starting off with Section 1, Navigating global relocation and high-level resources for migrants. So any solid relocation strategy has to start with reliable institutional data, way before you even look at a single country's specific laws. When mapping out regional options, researchers typically start broad. They'll use resources like the World Bank datasets to track macro-level migration and remittance flows. If the target is Europe, well, the EU's Your Europe portal is an unbelievable tool for establishing baseline residence and work rights across member states. Then you have national sites like the Make It in Germany portal, providing official, localized visa procedures. And of course, there's the OECD, which offers really comprehensive policy and data tracking. You use these broad institutional resources to basically scan the horizon before you drill down into a specific nation's legal framework. Moving into Section 2, the Japan HSP visa, our 2026 case study in structured pathways. We are pivoting now to focus specifically on Japan's 2026 framework because its highly transparent, points-based system serves as the ultimate case study in modern strategic immigration. Just to set the stakes for why this matters, relocation analysts literally call this the single most efficient legal pathway for skilled professionals looking to build a life in one of the world's most technologically advanced economies. Japan is facing a pretty well-known long-running labor shortage, and the response? It's been to aggressively reward the world's top talent with an incredibly powerful residency status. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive practical trade-offs. Think about a standard work visa for a second. You might get a 1 to 3 year duration, your spouse generally does not get work rights, and bringing parents or domestic helpers, completely off the table. But then, look at the HSP visa. It grants an automatic 5-year duration from day one. It offers full spousal work rights across a really broad range of occupations. And, under the right conditions, you can even bring your parents or employ a foreign domestic helper. The lifestyle difference here is absolutely staggering. Let's move to Section 3, calculating your score and hitting that crucial 70-point threshold. So the entire system revolves around accumulating points across a few different categories. And 70 is the magic number. Let's start with your academic background. This is really where you lay your foundation. A doctor's degree gives you a massive 30 points right out of the gate, a master's gives you 20, and a bachelor's gets you 10. Oh, and if you happen to hold dual degrees, say a bachelor's and a master's, you get a sweet 5-point bonus. This essentially translates your educational credentials directly into your residency application. Next up is professional experience. If you have 10 or more years in your field, boom, that's 20 points. Even 3 to 4 years gets you 5 points. But what is absolutely critical for relocation researchers to note here is that both domestic and overseas work experience count equally. This is a huge advantage for mid-career professionals looking to move, because it allows them to stack up significant points before they ever even set foot in Japan. Now, what's really interesting is the bonus points. These are the special additions that so often push an applicant over that 70-point edge. Having high-level Japanese language skills, like the JLPT N1, instantly gives you 15 points. Graduating from a top-ranked ministerial notice university, that adds 10. If you hold a patent or major research grants, that's another 15 points right there. Even just having overseas work experience at a non-Japanese organization gets you an extra 5 points. Your pedigree and your specific skills are highly quantifiable under the system.
Section 4. Salaries and timelines. These are the key financial and process decision points.
Because, points aren't the only thing that matter. We absolutely have to talk about critical financial thresholds. And I literally cannot stress this number heavily enough. 3 million Japanese yen. This is the absolute baseline projected annual salary required. If your projected salary from your Japanese employer falls below this 3 million yen mark, you cannot qualify for the primary HSP categories, specifically 1B and 1C. And that is regardless of how many points you have. It is a hard stop, no exceptions. But on the flip side, as your earnings increase, so do your benefits. This really breaks down the fascinating financial trade-offs of the whole program. At a household income of 8 million yen, you unlock the incredibly rare privilege of bringing a parent to Japan for childcare or pregnancy support. Hit 10 million yen plus a helper's salary, and you can employ a foreign domestic worker. And if you're an ultra-high earner hitting 20 million yen under the new J-script track, well, you bypass the point system entirely for direct HSP2 status. Higher earnings directly translate to some pretty amazing lifestyle privileges. So how do you actually execute all of this? The timeline is very structured. Step 1, calculate your points honestly. Seriously, do not inflate them. Step 2, secure a job offer from a Japanese employer who will issue an expected income certificate. Step 3, your employer submits the Certificate of Eligibility or COE application to immigration in Japan. And finally, step 4, once approved, you take that COE to your local embassy for the visa, you enter Japan, and you literally collect your 5-year residence card right there at the airport. Now, the crucial point here is managing your expectations when it comes to time versus money. The government fees, they are practically non-existent. We're talking only 6,000 yen to apply and 4,000 for the card. It is incredibly cheap compared to other developed nations. However, your time investment is very real. While the official target is supposed to be fast, realistic processing times in major cities like Tokyo and Osaka range anywhere from 1 to 6 months, just depending on the current caseload. And now, Section 5. The fast track to permanent residency. The ultimate reward. For most professionals, this right here is the ultimate reward. It's the entire reason they target the HSP framework in the first place. Let's see how this timeline builds, because it's wild. A standard work visa requires 10 long years of continuous residence before you can even think about applying for PR. But with 70 HSP points, that timeline drops to just 3 years. And if you can score 80 or more points, you can apply for permanent residency after just 1 year. 1 year. This is a dramatic, life-altering acceleration of your immigration timeline. And here is a massive loophole for current expats already living in Japan: retroactive eligibility. Listen to this. You don't even need to currently hold the formal HSP visa status to benefit from this timeline. If you were on a standard engineer visa today, but you can prove that 1 year ago your profile would have scored 80 points, or 3 years ago your profile would have scored 70 points, you can literally apply for the PR fast track right now. It is a total game changer. But okay, let's stay grounded for a second. There are strict enforcements to watch out for. Common rejection pitfalls include inflated or undocumented point claims. For example, if you claim a patent that you don't fully hold yet, your points will be recalculated and you'll be rejected. As we discussed earlier, any projected income falling below that 3 million yen baseline is an instant fail. If your actual daily job duties don't perfectly match the highly skilled category you applied for, or if your employer provides weak financial documentation, your application is going to be denied. Precision and honesty are absolutely mandatory. Which leaves us with a really fascinating dynamic to watch. Japan has engineered an incredibly transparent, highly incentivized pathway for the exact demographic it needs. So as nations rewrite the rules to fiercely attract top professionals, how are other countries going to adapt their own immigration frameworks to compete for this global talent? I mean, Japan has set a very high bar for clarity and reward here. It'll be amazing to see how the rest of the world responds. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep analyzing those frameworks, and I will see you next time.